We'd like to kind of point at the features of this unit. This is what we call a light evac. I guess light considering the idea that it's on a hand cart. It's easy to move around, but very capable. So if you look at, I'm looking at the top of this unit, you can see the switches and stuff that are on it. The words are going to be upside down for you, but we have power on. We have a tank float bypass. So normally, in the side of it, you have a small cable that hooks to an 80% full float in a destination tank. If that's not what you have, and you're weighing your cylinders to know that they're full, you would turn this on to bypass that. So the fan, if you want the fan on, the tank is 80% full. This light would light up. And the other would be, this is the vapor's recovery is complete. So this lights up when the machine is pulled down into a vacuum, saying the job is complete. But this is the light evac. I'm looking at the back of it here. I'm going to spin it around. And it has a twist lock connection. And so here is where the 110 power goes in. There is a circuit break here if you have issues. But that's a twist lock. And I think it comes with like a 30-foot cable. This is the hookup for that 80% full float connection. You connect that here to a tank that has the right connection to tell the system that it's 80% full and it would stop. If you're not using this and you bypass the tank float, you would want to be assuring yourself the tanks aren't overfilled by having them on a scale. So imagine, again, we're dealing with a vapor compression device. So this valve would say the pressure, when we hook this up to a vapor line on a chiller, when you open this, you would be then reading the pressure, the vapor only inlet, that would be reading that pressure. During normal operation, this stays closed. This is the outlet. And so you'd be taking vapors in through the compressor, oil separator, condensing coil, and then on back out. So this would be in and out. As we look at it, there's part of the features, and when we do this, we're going to do a full hands-on recovery. One of the things that you'd want to note is that this valve, it has a hose evac situation or adjustment for it. So once we hook all the hoses up to the system, we want to pull the air out of all those hoses. We would put this in the hose evac situation, or position, if you would, and the compressor would then bring the air out of those lines and purge out that air. When we've got all the hoses evacuated, we would close this to the normal mode, and it would then we could start to operate the vapor refrigerant recovery. So other things, this is a temporite oil separator. It does a great job of separating the oil, returning it back to the compressor so the compressor stays full. But this is the drain, so when you're going to service it, the other would be when we're going to change the oil in the compressor, it has a drain here. On the side of it, it has sight glass. All these compressors have a sight glass for knowing the level is right, and that this line is the line that the oil separator is putting the oil back in the compressor. So you can drain the oil and change it. Then the other thing is a separator. It has initial charge of oil in it to help it separate refrigerant oil so that it doesn't go on with the product as you're using it. One other feature here, that's pressure regulator, so you can set the pace that the unit is running at. So you don't want it to go too fast, you don't want to go too slow, but we adjust this to set the pace that the unit will run at. So the other would be suction accumulator, to try not to get a piece of liquid back into your compressor. So that's about little features, and like I say, we're going to do a step-by-step, hook up the hoses, clean the hoses out, do a vapor recovery, and then de-inventory the unit when we're done. We'll get you a good idea on how it works.